Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's the Lions Legacy Podcast. I'm Adam. I'm here with Caden, and today we're going to be talking about Brad Holmes, the GOAT, simply the GOAT. I mean, he came here in 2021. In 2021, we know obviously the history of everything that we've had to go through, from from signing people to keeping a team good, just everything. And it was like once we had Brad Holmes, obviously we knew where he was coming from with the Rams in St. Louis and Los Angeles. He got obviously he drafted guys and was able to get guys like Aaron Donald, Goff, Gurley, Cooper Kupp, and more. Brad Holmes has been different, and what we're really going to be talking about today is how this guy can really draft. Really draft. We know obviously that he's been making some offseason moves for sure, and he's been really good with that. And obviously with his trades too, with his was with LA, drafted Goff, and then once he got here, we literally traded for Goff, traded right to LA, and it couldn't have been more of a win-win package. But after that, we drafted Sewell, we drafted Amon Ra in that same draft. Like, what's your thought on the man, on the chef?
Every single time Brad Holmes is on the clock, I'm never going to question him ever again. That's all I got to say about him. That's all I got to say. I'll never question him again. I was a little confused myself with the Gibbs pick, just for the fact that I knew we signed Montgomery and we still had Swift at the time on the roster, so I was a little confused. But I knew we were moving Swift. Other than that, that's the only time I've ever questioned him, but I regret it. That's all I got to say. Gibbs turned out so.
Yeah, it was like they said Campbell. They said Campbell was a reach. They said Gibbs was a reach. Laporta was a reach. Like like everything. And we drafted Branch in that same draft. Like this dude is simply different. Like we go back to 2021, and obviously he started it with Penei Sewell. He simply started it with Penei Sewell, and man, as a first pick, like I definitely want to talk about him. Like he's been essentially like obviously with Jared Goff, but him Jared Goff and Amon Ra have been really a part of the offense. But Penei Sewell, man, the first pick, like what do you think about him, man? Obviously, we know you cooked up a nice little edit of that, man.
Penei
We know he's
Sewell,
tough.
bro. Penei Sewell was a dog. Penei Sewell, best
Is he
tackle in the
already the
league.
best? He's already the best tackle in the league,
He's
right? Like
he's
it's like
20. What is he? 23. He's
20,
mad young.
like 23.
He's young and
Hey,
he's out here running the league offensive line wise. Like he's one of the best in the league.
he's
No one can
different.
tell me different.
He's simply different. And obviously we knew with what Brad Holmes, and obviously we have Dan Campbell as well. We just they mix perfectly. We're definitely gonna make a video about him too. That another beast. But Brad Holmes was able to bring in all these guys. He first got with Jared Goff. And it was at first you were able to get a real, you were able to get a real indication of off of everything we saw with Penei Sewell and just as drafting that we're drafting guys who came here to ball and business. We knew at first that we knew Jared Goff needed a line. We knew we needed a line, and we're better to start than to draft the best tackle in the draft.
Not only did we draft the best tackle in the draft, think about who else we drafted in that draft.
Amon Ra,
Amon Ra,
iffy,
late, iffy.
iffy. Like
These are still guys. These are
2021.
still guys. These are guys who are still on the team
Unzarike,
contributing.
Unzarike, who's still looking, who's still like
He's still
who's
fighting for a
getting up
spot.
there. Like he's been making noise. He's been
That's
making noise, and
that.
and Brad
These are
Holmes has
all
been like,
guys.
there's only been like two or three players, off of all of these years that we've seen that aren't on the team anymore. That's insane.
Yeah, these are all guys that he drafted in his first draft here, and they're like that he drafted late too, like iffy, and they're not first round picks or anything.
Amon Ra is was a
Fourth
fourth
round
round
pick.
pick, dude. Like that's just you can't make that up. And we know obviously we just extended him, our true wide receiver, our guy, are reliable.
What
2021, man.
which draft would you say was his best draft on the Lions?
So obviously we started here at 2021, right? We're probably looking at the most recent drafts. Probably we're probably looking at, we just you drafted Gibbs, who is in, obviously already you were 1,000 yard rusher. 1,000 yard rusher. We're gonna see him more in the receiving game. This man is a beast. He doesn't go down. He's cold. Like
Yeah.
we we
Laporta,
got
Laporta,
Laporta. Laporta, we have
top
Laporta. You
he's a top
drafted
five tight
Campbell.
end.
Brian Branch. Brian
Jack Campbell
Branch was
was
supposed to be drafted in the first round. Jack Campbell is now he's not can't get off now he's not off the field. We've been hearing very good things about him in camp.
Jack Campbell was second on the team in tackles last year as a rookie behind
That man was
Anzalone.
that dude like and he was playing. We know obviously that Jack Campbell was really involved like that. And everything has been really good with that 2023 draft, man. It's just with that in 2021, 2020, great. Let's meet right in the anything else you want to say on 2023 or just
2020, nah, because that's Brad Holmes couldn't have done any better in that draft. He
he
couldn't have
could
done any better.
in 2021 and 2023. It's like where are we? Where are we missing? And then we get into 2022. Hutch, Hutch. We know Michigan. We know obviously
Jamison Williams.
Michigan man, Michigan man. We traded up for Jamison Williams. Still interesting to see, but a very 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 a solid prospect at the very minimum. When we drafted the guy, he went 12 for a reason. Tore his ACL. Big reason why it fell a little bit, but the man is definitely on pace for a breakout year and is going to be in a wide receiver two position. Like we've drafted a lot of people over these drafts, but in 2022, like even in 2022, like Hutch, we're gonna extend this man when the time comes. We know it. We extended Amon Ra, we extended Panay Sewell, we extended Jared Goff, we extended all those guys. Hutch is gonna be next. Hutch is next. And we know that he's been great for us. His sacks have been going up. His pressures are through the roof. I think he leads the league in pressures. I mean, Hutch is simply different. And
That's how
then
you
Kirby,
build a
we
team.
drafted Kirby in that draft. We had Kirby in that draft as well.
That's how you build a team. You wanna be able to draft your players and keep them around.
And keep them around. And it's really about the system, like we see with all of these drafts. This man has been cooking. This man has been cooking. But then obviously we'll transfer in more a little bit to, his free agency acquisitions that he's made over this past year. Obviously this past year has been cooking. We've only gotten better. Obviously we've been discussing about it and we've been really high on our team. The man is simply cooking. The man is simply cooking. But some of the free agency acquisitions that we got DJ Chark. I believe that was in 2020. What that was in that
Two.
was in 2022. That was in 2022, and then the next we got CJ Garner Johnson. We were kind of like whoa, and we were making more moves. We were making more moves, and we were interesting. But then we get into this year, and we really, really, really made some off-season moves. Like he's obviously been an insane drafter. The dude knows what's up. But the free agency acquisitions, man, Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson,
He traded for Davis,
Marcus
but yeah,
Davenport.
he traded for Davis.
Yeah, like so, yeah, that with Carlton, yeah, but he traded for Davis, but like some of these actual offseason, with some of these offseason guys and these trades, but going into offseason, like yeah, like Amik Robertson and Marcus Davenport, and then DJ Reader. Talk about
DJ
DJ
Reader.
Reader, man, and some of these acquisitions, bro. Like Brad Holmes cannot doesn't only cook and doesn't only cook in the draft with the drafting, but he cooks with he's cooking and he cooks in off season, just in the off season in general.
Brad Holmes is all you got to say is let Brad cook.
Let Brad cook, man. We still have more moves to make. Like obviously, we still have more moves to make. Everything has been good. We can't even doubt this man. We can't. You can't even doubt this man. All you can do is just trust in the process. He's been the one GM that's he's been consistently with us. He's always fired up. He's been making great moves. Obviously, we know how close him and Dan Campbell are. Literally brought him in. Literally brought Dan Campbell in. It's been great. The dude has been making nothing but very, very solid moves. And we even got Jake Bates. Obviously he was with Michigan was with the Michigan Panthers in the UFL and is here and he's been drilling. The dude's been cooking. Anything you see us doing upcoming that something that Brad Holmes would do that we wouldn't see out of any other Lions GM in the past. Like any guys that you're thinking, maybe wide receiver, maybe we go D line, maybe
I'm
another
hoping,
quarterback.
I'm hoping like a better quarterback than Fromm, maybe Tannehill, because Fromm's better than Sudfeld. So That's something.
And then obviously we know that we have something at wide receiver
But
3,
Judon, but Judon is someone
Matthew
I need.
Judon.
That's someone I
Matthew
need to
Judon.
see.
We might end up obviously having to make a video about who knows, maybe he gets traded to us. Who knows? We could get lucky. There's been rumors about him, but that's obviously a move that could happen. We've been that, if anything, that's the most turmoil we've seen in terms of an actual player going to Detroit. And and that's a guy that's only making 6.5 million a year. Yeah, obviously he's aging, but still very good. And that's something Brad Holmes could pull off. You'd only have to give like two low round picks for him. Brad Holmes has been consistently good with the trades. You could see something like that going down, but then wide receiver. We know there's something going on there. Do you any guy out there that you see that he would go and pick up?
That he can go pick up right now. The funniest one I seen people saying was Hunter Renfro.
Hunter Renfro, bro. Hunter Renfro. You know what? We saw Juju get waived, right? We saw Juju Smith-Schuster get waived, and I can't even. I don't even think that's that horrible of a gamble, bro. Like
For
it's
three,
just
for
at
wide
this
receiver
point, he's
three,
just try him out, give people some competition. Obviously, we still have Khalif Raymond. He'll be our wide receiver 3 at least what it
DPJ.
looks like from right now. We have DPJ, but nothing's been good on him. Isaiah Williams looked good, but we're still looking on all of these guys like with Fountain too and Kane Davis like the outside of like there's nothing really like wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4. We don't really have any like strong guys, but a guy like Juju could help out. You could just try and see. You could trade for a lower tier wide receiver 3. Maybe we saw. I was looking at a report from Mike Payton. We saw MVS. He could be lower in the depth chart and could be a guy that we could go and sneak out. And there's just there's other guys and David Bell on the Browns that he also mentioned. I thought was very interesting because he's a guy in Cleveland that's just kind of getting overshadowed by everybody else, but has showed flashes. Like
Going
I think we could definitely see some more cook gestures out of Brad.
going back in time a little, a guy I wish we made a move on was Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, yeah, we saw him go to Tennessee, right? I think he went to Tennessee. I'm not too sure.
Jacksonville? I don't know where he went, to be honest. I
Yeah,
don't
Brad.
remember.
He went somewhere, but obviously, there's still some guys out there. But we know Brad Holmes will get. We can trust him, and that he'll get guys that completely fit the mold. He will get guys that he wants, and that fit for the team. And if there's also, obviously, there's going to be times where you're like, why didn't we do it? But then you think about it, and there's a reason why we actually did do it. All we can really do is just trust in Brad Holmes, man. And
Yeah, I'll always trust Brad Holmes, to be honest.
he's simply that man has been different. All we can do is just let him cook. Just let him cook, man. I don't care what nobody say. I gotta get this replaced, man. We gotta have the actual banner of this man with the laser eyes because
He's different.
this dude is simply different. We saw what he was doing in with the Rams. He just casually went over to us and changed the whole culture over what we had going on here. Obviously, Campbell helps that a lot too, but that shows you what type of guy Brad Holmes is. Bringing a guy like that in and just drafting all of these guys that we're extending and just drafting. That's so important. We're not a team with aging superstars. We're a team that drafts. And we're a team that players want to go play for because a lot of players have an emotional attachment to the team that they're drafted to, and to be able to to draft and have confidence in all your guys and be able to develop them, players are going to go and want to play for you. And that's something huge out of Brad Holmes that we haven't been able to really see out of our other GMs that we had in the past, Bob Quinn and whoever followed up before him or whoever was before him. Like we haven't been able to really be able to be on board with free agency acquisition and trades and just making good and drafting well too. Like everything was just kind of we had Calvin Johnson, we had Matt Stafford, and they shaped us. And they shaped us. We had like a few with like some receivers, but it was nothing too crazy. Brad Holmes is on a different level. Appreciate you guys. Hey, great topic. We love talking about that, man. All we've been doing has been appreciative about what he's been able to do. Like after everything you think that maybe might be a questionable move, everything gets proven to you that it's like you
We
can't do
wouldn't be
this.
here. We wouldn't be Super Bowl contenders without him. That's all I got to say.
Wouldn't be here without him. I'm Adam. This is Caden. It's Lions Legacy, and we'll be back. Appreciate you guys tuning in.